RVA Day, 804. What's the best thing about our community? What's the best thing about 804, the 804 area code? When you talk to people and you tell them you're from Richmond, what do you brag on? What do you flex on? What's the best thing about living in this community? 804 Day is today. It's August 4th. What is the best thing about Richmond? Here's the number for you to send us a text message, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. By the way, I don't know why I wrote this down. I was in a hurry this morning. I wrote down JFK. I meant RFK Jr. because that's where I want to go to next. So my apologies for that mistake. So if you didn't see this, I just want to play this for you just to point something out. I think as we get ready for the elections today, and I honestly am not sure what we're going to see because there's a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of people listening to this radio show that are frustrated. There's a lot of people out there that are going to go to the polls today that are frustrated. I've talked about the frustration in many, many, many different ways. I think some people are frustrated that are younger, that are my son's generation, that were told, work really hard in school. Their parents promised them, just get into a good college and you're set for life. And these kids followed what they were told. The millennials and the Gen Zs followed the lesson plan, the playbook that they were told. And that's work your tail off, get into a good college. And as soon as you get your degree, life will open up and you'll have everything you want. They were promised a rose garden. And they did. They got into great colleges. They graduated. And then they found out they had $250,000 in debt and had a job that paid $50,000. And they weren't going to live the same lifestyle they'd been accustomed to living with mom and dad. And now they're standing there going, well, this is a big ripoff. I did what I was supposed to. I did what you told me to. I did what capitalism said we were supposed to. And now I don't have squat. Fine. I'm going to go be a socialist because they're going to give me free stuff. I mean, I've said this before. Think about all the ads that you see for the apron place that will send you food so you don't have to go to the grocery store, or the box of clothes that shows up at your house, or any of those things, the DoorDash that brings you food. You know what they are? They're basically your mom and dad still taking care of you once you leave the house. If you get the groceries delivered in a box with instructions on how to cook them, that's you going to the refrigerator at your mom and dad's house looking for food. And it's just the magic fairy. We laugh in my house that when my wife gets ready to do dishes, I go, oh, don't worry about it. There's a magic fairy that just shows up and does the dishes. And the morning when I wake up, all the dishes are clean. No, there's no magic fairy. There's no magic fairy that's going to bring your kids groceries to their house or go shopping for them or anything else, or bring them Taco Bell. Those platforms are just substitutes for mom and dad for kids that refuse to grow up and actually get up and go to the grocery store. Who likes going to the grocery store? Not many people, but we'll talk about grocery stores later in the program. Something you got to do. I don't like doing laundry, but laundry needs to get done. I don't like having to go shop for clothes. I'd rather my mom, hey, come here, pal. I got you a new shirt. That's basically what all these platforms are. And these kids are just frustrated because they were promised one thing and they didn't get it. Now they're going to go vote for Zohran Mamdani and the rest of the communists. And then there's the older people that are frustrated because they were lied to. My generation of Gen X, boomers in a way are frustrated because we don't trust the institutions. And one of the big institutions we don't trust anymore is the media. And Rush Limbaugh started this, the drive-by media, because they drive by, look at something, throw all their attention on it, and then move on, and they never come back because they just look for whatever the next thing is, squirrel, and get distracted. You want a perfect example? Do you remember how big that train derailment was in Ohio, where everybody was there? Oh my gosh, it was the worst thing in the whole wide world. How many CNN reporters do you see there now? How many MSNBC? How many Fox reporters? How many people do you actually see there at that town in Ohio that had that devastating train derailment. Has anybody done any follow-up, or do they care anymore? No, they moved on to the next thing. And when that happens, we notice little by little. Rush pointed it out first. If you could give me that RFK, Dave, let me know if you have that. Okay. We don't trust the media anymore. And God forbid we ever call them out and say, hey, listen, COVID, you got it so wrong. So I wanted to play you this soundbite. It's a little long, but listen through it. It's RFK. It's RFK Jr. sitting down with Dana Bash at CNN, and he calls her out. He calls her out and says, everything you were talking about was wrong. Take a listen to this.
We need to protect our constitutional rights. That is the primary obligation
What
of
does
our
that
country.
mean?
Well, during COVID, we completely dismantled our constitutional rights. We began censoring people in violation
Okay,
of the First Amendment.
but I'm not, you're
if
saying
you
what
want-
not to do. I'm asking what to do. But I want to talk
Well,
about.
that's something to do. That is the number one priority. We protect the Constitution. The Constitution was
Forgive
written.
me, but you're talking about rights, and I'm asking about a potential public health crisis that is coming. But I do want to
And one of the mistakes we made in the last time was suppressing those rights so people weren't being heard. Doctors who were saying you're doing it wrong were being marginalized and vilified.
Yeah,
and
because again, I really want to move on. But
yeah, of
you were
course
saying
wanna
you
move
were
on because
yes,
you
I
were
do.
part of the problem.
No, I wasn't part of the problem.
There was absolute press malpractice. You weren't allowing
Mr. Secretary,
your job is a fierce skepticism
Okay.
toward authority. And
Yes,
you weren't
I am.
doing that. You
I
were
am.
beating
My
up on
job is
people who were
also-
dissenting.
No. Okay. You want to sit here and attack me, or do you want to have
You're
conversations
sitting
about
here and
public health?
attacking me.
I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions about how to
And let
prevent
me
the next
ask the
pandemic.
question, and I'll tell you.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I also don't want to use this interview to allow you to say things that aren't entirely true. You're talking about therapeutics, fine. It is also factually true that the COVID vaccine worked. The COVID vaccine prevented deaths. There is data upon data upon data. Let's talk.
So that was RFK Jr. tangling with Dana Bash. Dave, how'd you like that? She got defensive when he said, hey, your job as the media is to be skeptical and ask questions about everybody, but instead you went right along and you questioned anybody that would question authority. And I think now that we see post-COVID, we find out everybody in the media that was telling you 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, how many of them asked Dr. Fauci whether 6 feet was legitimate or somebody just made it up? How many people asked 1 mask, 2 masks, 3 masks, 4 masks? How many masks do we have to get? How many people in the media asked, okay, well, what's the science behind the mask? We find out there were no science, hard science, and there was no consensus behind the mask. So much during COVID where we actually locked down our society went unquestioned. And then those that questioned Dr. Fauci because he's the science, including people like Dana Bash, absolutely destroyed anybody that would dare have any other opinion. RFK Jr., I'll give him credit right there. He stood there and went toe-to-toe with her, called her out. And she just, I want to move on. Of course you want to move on. Because he's holding you accountable. Of course you want to move on. Because he's saying, listen, all you did was spread fear and bashed anybody who disagreed with the great Fauci or the Biden administration in the middle of all of this. You went along with all of it, and anybody who said anything different, you instantly destroyed. And that's one of the reasons why we're at where we are today, is because our institutions have been tattered. And people don't trust the media. People don't trust the federal government. These kids that are voting communist don't trust capitalism because we never held anybody accountable. I want to get your thoughts on that. Did you like actually seeing, remember Dana Bash, she actually, she was one of the moderators for presidential debates. She was right there in the middle of this, and he called her out to her face. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. What's the one, you know how I lay down at night and can sleep comfortably? Because we talk about accountability, and you guys hold me accountable. That's what the text line is for. I tell all that you've heard me. First time politicians come on, I go, listen, I'm going to hold you accountable, but I expect you to hold me accountable. If I get things wrong, please tell me so we get the facts correct. He's fact-checking her in real time right there on the set, and you see how flustered she got? If I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it. I'm not perfect. Rush Limbaugh was right almost all the time. I'm no Rush. I'll make a mistake now and then, not because I'm trying, because I'll just brain lock on something or I'll need to get more information. But at least I'm willing to be accountable to all of you. How about the media? How about the New York Times? How about the Washington Post? How about CNN, MSNBC, or MS Now, or whatever they call it? ABC, CBS, Fox News. Are they accountable? I like that he did it. I want to know what you think. 833-804-1140. I think it's awesome. 833-804-1140, the number for you to join us here on the program. Today's program brought to you in part by GreerFinancialGroup.com. So Michael Greer, he joins us just about every day here on the program. So what's he all about? Simple. Michael Greer is there to help protect your money and grow your money because he's your partner. He's your partner when it comes to your investments in your retirement. And he'll ask you the questions that other people are afraid to ask because he's a partner. He's not just standing there trying to get a commission, selling you something or getting you to get this mutual fund or that mutual fund. He is your partner. So he's going to ask you, okay, you want to go to the south of France as you retire? Great. Then how are you going to pay for your insurance when you get back? Oh, you want to go on a cruise? Oh, that would be awesome to go on a years-long cruise. Where are you going to live when you get back? He asks questions that others might not see, might not want to ask, might not think of. That's why you get the full picture when it gets ready for your retirement. Call him right now, 804-427-7784, 804-427-7784, or go online to GreerFinancialGroup.com. Fee-based advisory services processed through and supervised by Rise Wealth Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
Richmond's trusted appliance dealer, Appliances on Lakeside, is offering hot deals. All families are unique. Let our experienced sales staff help you find the best appliance to fit your family's needs and budget at Appliances on Lakeside.
Listen, I hear it all the time. People think engineered wood is just a fancy name for plastic or laminate, and that's a total myth. I have been talking to the experts at Better Floors, and here's the reality. Engineered wood is real wood. It's a solid hardwood veneer on top of a reinforced core. You get the beauty of oak or hickory, but with the stability to handle Richmond's humidity without warping. It's smarter, it's durable, and it looks incredible. Stop guessing and go see for yourself. Visit their showroom in Bon Air or check them out online at betterfloorsinc.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phone, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance, and cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Time to check your traffic this morning at 6:48 from the MyInsuranceDoctor.com Traffic Center, the official insurance of News Radio WRVA.
An earlier incident northbound 95, the Chester Hopewell exit has been cleared. No problems, 295 and 64.
No incidents, no delays. Chippenham Parkway, 288 to the Downtown Expressway. On the side roads, collisions on Happy Hill Road at Harrogate Road, Whole Street at Broad Rock Road, and